My name is Professor Bonin, and also with me is Professor Lauren Seiler
Hi.
and Ashley Cody, who's one of our biology students. And we're going to get started here in just a minute. I'm just waiting for maybe, just to make sure that, there's another person or two that comes in. And then I'm going to give a very short presentation, very short. And then we want to open it up to you and get to know you a little bit and allow you to ask us any questions that you may have. So let's see. So it looks like Maureen, you're pre-veterinary science. That's cool. Let's see. Justine, it looks like you indicated you're interested in biology. Am I understanding that right, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine? Is that what you're indicating? Or not? Can you all hear me okay, or?
Yes, she responded in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Oh, I see. People are responding in the chat. Okay. I do have that up as well, but okay, that's great. And I encourage you to talk to me and to us as well. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get started here, tell you a little bit about our biology program, just give you a very brief overview. And then, like I said, we want to turn it over to you so that you have an opportunity to ask us questions and get to know us a little better and get to know a little bit about the program. So let's see here. All right. So, I felt I had to use green because, well, it's biology. So I probably don't have to tell you all this, but why should you study biology? There's a lot of really good reasons. It gives you a broad range. It's the foundation of interdisciplinary careers, including things like basic research, zoology, botany, paleontology, ecology, and conservation, as well as human and veterinary medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, forensics, and even into areas like science journalism, education, and biotechnology. So if any of those things are of interest to you, and I believe that they are, then biology is the major for you. But more importantly, why should you study biology here at Stockton? And there are many reasons, but I've tried to summarize those in 6 different ways. So number one, we focus on you, the undergraduates, unlike a lot of other places where there are many graduate students and the graduate students tend to get the focus. Here, you are front and center. We are an interdisciplinary program, so you'll get a diverse biology education from multiple perspectives. We've got people that study paleontology. We've got people that study all sorts of molecular biology, genetics, anatomy, physiology, botany, environmental science, ecology, you name it. We've got a lot of faculty that have a lot of different focuses. So you're going to be exposed to a lot of different aspects of biology in our program. Because we have small class sizes, we actually get to know you and you get to know us. And one of the really cool things I think about being a student at Stockton is that there are many opportunities for you as undergraduates to conduct original research with our faculty, to actually do scientific research with a faculty member in a way that is normally reserved for graduate students in other places. We have a number of labs with state-of-the-art equipment, and we've got 2 new science buildings, and we've got flexible paths to degree completion through our Bachelor's of Science and Bachelor's of Arts. Just to give you a little bit of a taste of sort of what some of our faculty do and how they've involved students. So this is our Dr. Tara Luke. Among other things, she does deep sea exploration and robotics and studies a lot of the organisms that live in the deep ocean. Our Dr. Kathy Sadia has a wide range of interests, including ecology, apiary studies. So there's actually a farm here on campus, and she actually studies bees. And she is also the coordinator for cannabis studies here on campus. Our Dr. Nate Hartman has been doing National Institutes of Health research on brain development using mice as a model, and he's worked with quite a number of our undergraduates. Dr. Craig Lind is a reptile physiology and snake and turtle ecology expert who's done a number of projects looking at the health and well-being of reptiles in New Jersey and also in Florida. Our Dr. Seiler, she's a new member of our faculty. She studies marine microbiology and also astrobiology. Our Dr. Mike Law studies the molecular biology and genetics, specifically of yeast, using yeast as a model. And he's worked with a number of undergraduates. I myself am a dinosaur paleontologist, and I also study reptile and bird locomotion. And I've got a state-of-the-art lab where we do X-ray and CT scans of living reptiles and birds, and then we reconstruct how the bones are moving in these animals. And then we've got our Dr. Mike Legue and Dr. Margaret Lewis, who study aspects of prehistory like human evolution. That's what Dr. Legue studies. And Dr. Lewis is also a paleontologist and a carnivore expert. And we have many other faculty, but this just gives you kind of a taste of the sort of diversity of backgrounds and experiences that our faculty members have. And with that, that is all I wanted to say. So with that little introduction, I want to turn it over to all of you. And please don't be shy. Feel free to ask me or Dr. Seiler or Ashley any questions that you may have. What do you want to know?
Hi, I'd like to ask a question.
Sure,
So
go right ahead.
I know that I need to study in an area of science to become a surgeon, which is what I want to be. I don't know exactly which area in science or mathematics I want to do yet. Do you have any advice on how to figure that out?
Oh, sure. Well, Adilianis, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so Adilianis, what I would say is that a biology major is the right choice for you if you want to be a surgeon. You're going to, if you are a biology major, then we have a number of tracks in the major, and one of those is pre-professional studies, and that would be what you would enroll in. And then we have a number of courses that are probably right up your alley. So that, of course, we've got human anatomy, we teach physiology. I myself teach a comparative anatomy course. I also teach our embryology course. So there's a number of courses that you can take that will either be directly related to your goals to be a surgeon, or that will be very helpful to those pursuits. So it's a great question.
Hi, I also have something else. Thank you for answering my previous question. Are
Sure.
we able um, to be involved with different research opportunities? So, say if I am more interested in, say, like the biology aspect, but I want to explore marine biology, could I do that? Like, could I research with, join research with the teachers?
Yes, so there are, again, many of our faculty take on students for various independent study and research projects. So one of the best things to do once you're here at Stockton is to reach out to faculty members and see what kind of research they're doing, and see what opportunities that they have. And one of the best ways to find this out is to go to the NAMS webpage and to just, you can look at the biology faculty, for example, and you can see all the biology faculty and see a number of things that each of us do. So yes, if you want to get different research experiences, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and certainly if you're interested in trying out marine biological research, I know that I and Tara Luke both do marine microbiology related research. And the skills that you would learn working in either of our labs would be things that you could take with you to med school regarding DNA extraction, biochemical tools, microbial culturing. All of those things would be useful to you, I would think.
I see a question in there from Maureen, and I don't know if Thushani is still with us, if she might be able to help me with this. The question is, can
there's
you
another
explain
question
how
before
the
that too. Sorry.
Oh, is there another question before that?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a question before that one about science-related student organizations from Justine, and then
Yes.
Maureen had a question about the vet program. Yeah.
I was going to see. So Ashley, would you be able to say something about that? Science-related student organizations?
I know there's a couple based on what your interests interested in. So I am biology with a concentration in pre-professional studies. So we do have a pre-professional health club here. We also have a PT club. So if you're interested in physical therapy, we have an OT club as well. I know that falls underneath health science, but PT does fall underneath biology as well. They have a club for that as well. We do have a new co-ed fraternity that is based off of just pre-professional health related aspects. So that's another opportunity you can get involved here on campus as well.
Yeah, so there, and what you will find, Justine, is that there are a lot of different student groups on campus, and even, for example, if you were interested in aquaculture, and if you're interested in fish and aquaria, there's even an organization for that. So I'm sure between what between what Ashley has told you and whatever else you may find, you're going to see that there are probably lots of opportunities to join various groups of students who have a whole variety of interests in biology and related fields. So definitely. So the question from Marie, can you explain how the pre-vet program works? I am not the pre-professional advisor, but that is Dr. Elizabeth Pollock, who's at chemistry. And so if you had your specific question about Stockton partnering with another college, because I'm not the pre-professional advisor, off the top of my head, I don't recall. Thushani, I don't know if you know that.
No, what? I'm sorry. I didn't catch the last question.
Maureen, the last question, yeah.
Yeah, what was the last question? So the exact last question, sorry.
So the exact last question was that she been partners with another college for veterinary science. And I, not being the pre-professional advisor, I don't have that information, but I didn't know if you might.
Or whether we are partnering with another with a veterinary school, whether we are partnering with a veterinary school.
Yes, do you know what veterinary school that is? Is it University?
To my knowledge, we are not.
Or?
To my knowledge, we are not partnering, but we will prepare the students with the necessary qualifications so that they can move on. But to my knowledge, we are not we are looking into some, but we are not partnering currently.
I see. Okay. Yeah. And that's why that threw me a little bit there, Maureen, because I wasn't sure that we were partnering with anyone exactly. But what I will say is that there are a number of courses that you can take here in biology, including it just so happens you're talking to a person who teaches this comparative anatomy course. And I have a lot of students that come through there who have asked for to be veterinarians. So like, for example, in comparative anatomy, we dissect a lamprey, a shark, a frog, a cat, and a pigeon. So you get a lot of practice with dissection, and you get a lot of experience looking at and considering the anatomy of these different vertebrate animals from all sorts of different perspectives. I also, for example, teach a vertebrate animal movement course. And in that course, students actually design their own experiments, and you get to do videos and locomotor studies of live vertebrate animals. So there are opportunities like that. What I would also encourage you to do would be to speak to Dr. Elizabeth Pollock, Pollock. She's over in chemistry, but she is our pre-professional advisor. And so if anybody on campus would know specifically if we are going to partner with another institution, or what the specific considerations are that you need to know for doing pre-vet, that's who I would recommend speaking to. It's good. These are good questions. Oh, let's see. Which courses have dissection? That's what Justine is asking. Quite a few. There's a number of anatomy and physiology courses, and there's, let's see, there's my comparative anatomy course. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what other courses would have a whole lot of dissection in them. But if you take almost any of our anatomy and physiology courses, and if you take my comparative anatomy course, there's a lot of dissection to go around.
There was also a question above. It says, are there free tutoring help in math and physics? I can answer that one. Being that I am a college student, I was worried about the same exact thing when I came here, and we do. It's located in J Wing, and it's free tutoring. It's not just for math and English. There's also other subjects as well. So they also have tutoring for physics, biochem, chemistry, organic chemistry, and so forth. They even have it for like business majors as well. So being that we are limited in being in areas because of COVID, there are links on our website when you do become a student, and you can join a Zoom link and actually get a tutor to help you. I know there's like certain times on there as well, but they do have tutoring. I know I am like an extension off of the tutoring center because I tutor for math workshops. So I know there are some really great tutors in there to help you out.
Thank you, Ashley.
I have another question. Can you tell me about some of the courses that I'd be taking as a biology major?
Sure. And anybody else can chime in with this too. I won't, I'm not going to sit here and list the whole catalog, but what most of our majors do, regardless of their particular track, is that they usually start off with a foundation in what we call cells and molecules and biodiversity and evolution. Those are sort of what other colleges would call their Bio 101 and 102 courses. You will take a genetics course. There are opportunities to take courses in microbiology and molecular biology. As I've mentioned, there are anatomy courses. There are courses in developmental biology, histology. If you know what histology is, studying the thin sections of tissues. Comparative, well, ecological, that's what I'm trying to say. Ecological physiology, we've got we've got courses in ecology. So there's quite a variety of courses to take. I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in. I probably have a blind spot here.
Genetics, microbiology. I'm putting together a molecular microbiology course, so molecular biology of prokaryotes. There's also a molecular biology of eukaryotes course. Oh, well.
Yeah, no, I mean, we offer
lot.
quite quite a number of courses for sure. And to go back to the question about math and physics, sometimes I know I was like this as a student. I was a bit dubious as to why I should be taking physics when all I wanted to study was big dead reptiles. But what I will tell you is that if you're going into any of the medical professions, and particularly if you're interested in things like PT, as an example, biomechanics is an important part of those considerations. And uh, much of what you learn, especially in the first semester of physics, has real world applications to things like how much force is a muscle going to exert across a joint, and these sort of things that become important when you're dealing with things like injury, for example. So just something to keep in mind. But yes, there's a there are quite a number of courses that we teach here, and what's surprising to me often is just how many different kinds of biology courses we offer, and what's available. Let's see. When will students be assigned with a faculty advisor, a peer mentor, and an academic advisor? Wow. Um, Ashley, how soon were you assigned a preceptor, as it were?
So I know I feel like I'm a different kind of case. I did come in through EOF. So we were assigned one through our EOF program, which is the Education Opportunity Fund. Um, so I was assigned one through there, but I know as a freshman you come in and I think it's based off of your major. So if you're in NAMS, they try to find you someone either in the academic advising office, to assign you someone, so you do have someone, but you're also more than welcome to change your preceptor at any point. So if you do feel like you have a connection with one of your professors, and maybe you're doing research with them or anything of that sort, you just have to speak to them, and they're okay with like being your preceptor. You can always switch your preceptor in that aspect as well. So under my understanding is once you start registering for your classes, and during orientation, that's when you will get your preceptor.
Thank you, Ashley. And yeah, just to piggyback on that, I would say that what Ashley says is absolutely right about switching your preceptor or finding a preceptor. So you will be assigned a preceptor, but if you are taking a class with a professor, or like Ashley said, doing research with that professor, and realize, wow, this person, like we have a connection and this person might be able to advise me a little bit better. It's very easy to change over, and we make that easy for students just so that kind of a thing can happen. So who can, I see the last, let's see, so would you share some intern experiences with the Washington internship program with a bio major? Um, I'm not familiar with the Washington internship program. I don't know if anybody else here is.
I know like the basis of it. I know for a Washington internship program, it's based on semesters. So you would apply and it will be a whole semester, and you would be stationed in Washington, D.C., and you would do an internship in that way. Certain credits you do receive during that internship will transfer over 4 credits to your degree here at Stockton University. I'm not sure if they do have biology, but I know they have many other like internship opportunities. But I believe it is located on our website. If you just put into the search bar Washington internship, they will tell you like a list of majors that you can like be a part of that program.
Thank you, Ashley. Do you need preceptor approval before you can take a course? So the way that precepting works, and I also am going to want Ashley to talk about this too, because I think it's good to hear it from both the professor side and from the student side. So from the professor side, we want to meet with you so that we can hear about what your career goals are, how you're doing in your classes, what kind of progress you're making, and to advise you on what we feel are wise ways, like wise combinations of classes to take, or to advise you when we think maybe you're doing too much, or maybe if you have to do a little bit more. But you don't need your preceptor's permission to register. You do the registering. The idea behind the philosophy behind preceptors is that we're here to listen to you, to give you advice, and especially early on to help you understand some of the lingo and other things that are associated with how we talk about our classes and how you will register. So that's sort of the faculty perspective. Did you want to add anything to that, Ashley?
Yes. So in preceptor, was stated that you don't need approval like through your preceptor to take a course. They're more of there for like guidance. So you would go to them and say, after like looking at your degree works, which is a program we have here that's offered to us as a Stockton student, and you go to them and you're like, okay, I should be taking these courses. Do you think I should take these two together or anything like in that variation? And they're basically there for like a sounding board with like expertise in your major or what you're trying to do in your field. So they would tell you more of, I think you should not take 3 science classes, being that you are highly involved, or you are part of a fraternity or sorority in that aspect. You can always go against your preceptor, but they're just there to help you. The only thing that I know you need approval for through like a professors, if you want to get into a class that's not offered to you through your major, like some like health science classes you might need to take for postgraduate. Those are the only times I feel like you need to have to be approved into a class.
So these are all very great questions. Let's see. So the next one is about class size for things like intro bio and chem and physics. So Justine, that's a great question. And we do, even in the intro classes, we keep the class sizes small. So when I teach biodiversity and evolution, which is one of the intro bio courses, that has a cap of 36 students. And when you take the lab section for that class, those labs have a cap of 18 students. So the nice part is, even in your intro classes, you're typically not in classes that are any much bigger than 36 students. And in the lab, it's even smaller. And that means that you get to know your professors much better than you would at some of the other bigger universities. And we get to know you, and that's important too. Thanks, Ash.
Of course. I just wanted to add in working in admissions. They wanted you to know that you guys can take a survey about how you liked anything you liked about this session or any sessions that you did go to. And at the end, they'll ask you a question if it cannot be found. I'll explain that in 1 second. You get a chance to like win a raffle at the end. I'm not sure what the prize is, but it will definitely be in the description underneath. If the link does not work, you're welcome to go to our stockton.edu page. You just put in open house. It is underneath our thank you tab.
And I was also just going to say, and I also will turn it over to Dr. Seiler with this as well. But from a faculty perspective, the reason that I used to teach at another university, and the reason that I chose to come here is I enjoy working with undergraduates on research. I enjoy teaching undergraduates. And I've worked with graduate students before, and that's all good stuff. But I just found that my heart is really in helping undergraduates build their foundation for whatever their future careers are going to be. and to give them opportunities that I wish that I had had when I was an undergrad, to work on research and get that perspective. And I know that's what, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I know for Dr. Seiler, that's one of many reasons why she chose to come to Stockton.
Yeah, absolutely. I did my PhD at Rutgers, a very big R1 institution, and then I did my first postdoc at Michigan State University, which is another really big school, and it's very easy to feel sort of lost in the shuffle at a really big school like that. And being able to have close relationships with your professors and be involved in their research, it's just, there's no other experience that can replace that. It really is an invaluable experience. If you're interested in science, getting to have those kinds of relationships with your professors is really, really tops. It's great.
Well, it's certainly been, sure, no, thank you, Justine. And I was just going to say, it's certainly been a pleasure to meet all of you. And if you have any other questions, please let us know. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you in our classrooms in the future.